Sonderborg.
You're on your way.
We're back here. Yeah.
Pan right round
Yeah. That'd be nice thing to do.
behind you. This is the island of Als in southern Denmark, very close to the German border, separated by a very small strip of water. We visited Sonderborg Castle, which was started in 1158 by Valdemar the Great. It was named the Southern Fortress, that means Sonderborg in Danish, and over the years the castle, which we see here, a struggle developed between the Danish king and the Duke of Schleswig, that's northern Germany, over land ownership, and the Danish king was imprisoned for 15 years. Of the Torsminde Museum, located in Torsminde on the west coast of northern Denmark. The inlet you see leads to a fjord called Nissumfjord, and there's a very strong current, as you can see this on the surface of the water. Well, this coastline is particularly dangerous to shipping, and in 1811 there was one particularly bad disaster when a ship, an English naval ship with 1,400 souls on board, were travelling from the Baltic back to England or Portsmouth, and every one of them, 1,400 people lost their lives. In these days there was no lifeboats or means to rescue the sailors, and the storm was such ferocity that they had to wait several days to go and gather up the sailors that were washed onto the shore. This coastline has a lot of shipwrecks, and these are featured in the museum dedicated to the wreck, called the St. George Museum. Divers have recovered lots of artefacts that were preserved in the sand since the shipwreck took place in 1811. Here you can see the anchor, and this is only one of many artefacts that are displayed in the museum. It tells the story of the life on board the ship, from cooks to sail makers, ropes, how ropes were handled, all the means of hoisting sails and propulsion. The museum nestles into the landscape. You can see in the distance sand dunes, and here we have the tower of the museum, the St George Museum, which is clustered and with single-story buildings displaying the artefacts. You can see how on the surface of the water, the strong currents, and the fishermen. This is a very good place to catch fish, and there's always fishermen around. Also holidaymakers.